Brilliance Audio presents The Watcher Girl by Minka Kent. Performed by Saskia Maarleveld. Chapter 1. I shouldn't be here. The swell of nausea in my middle intensifies with every step toward the front door of my childhood home. When the taxi disappears from view, I tell myself there's no turning back. And then I remind myself this isn't about me. I park my suitcase at the welcome mat, clear my throat, and wait for my father to answer the door. A moment later, heavy footsteps are followed by the rasp of a deadbolt and the swing of the heavy door I used to run through a lifetime ago. Grace? His tortoiseshell glasses are crooked on his nose, and his salt and pepper hair is tousled on one side. Safe to bet I woke him from a nap. Judging by his white cotton poly pants and olive green golf polo, it's also safe to bet he played around this morning. What are you doing here? My mother's peonies bow in the early June breeze, their frilly heads blooming with resilience, despite my mother's 20 years and counting prison sabbatical. The lush Kentucky bluegrass is edged to meticulous perfection along the double-walk sidewalk. The elms are taller than I remember, naturally, but their canopy of shade still extends across the driveway, painting my father's vintage Porsche a darker shade of platinum. I should have called, but I talked myself out of it a dozen times, knowing he'd have questions I wouldn't be able to answer without changing my mind about coming here. Buying a non-refundable airline ticket and shoving my things into a suitcase seemed like the path of least resistance in this scenario. Surprise! I force a smile and splay my hands, a cheap attempt to make this exchange as light-hearted as possible. His narrowed gaze eases, and the lines on his tanned forehead fade as the corners of his mouth curl one by one. My father has an impressive knack for acting like nothing happened. It's an art form, really. The man is bulletproof. Scandal and misfortune have a tendency to ricochet off him and hit the innocent bystanders instead. And he just carries on. He always carries on. Sometimes I wonder how the man views himself when he looks in the mirror, truly views himself. What does he see when he strips back that perfect, persevering outer layer? Does he see a man who failed his wife and family by chasing after a younger woman? A man whose infidelity ultimately cost that young woman her life? A man whose ex-wife rots away in a prison cell an hour from here, all because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants? Something tells me he sees none of that. His ego won't let him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?